2023 has been really great for us JRPG lovers. From the very start of the year in January until December, new releases and IPs to sequels to beloved franchises. We have been well fed with the amount of games we got to play, the adventures we got to travel on, the worlds we got to see, and the characters we got to befriend along the way will stick with us for a long time. However, it looks like 2024 is also looking like an amazing year as well. Hello everyone, my name is Fejiro and this is cozyfeji, and on this channel we cover a variety of things such as video essays, reviews, JRPGs, and all things cozy gaming. Now looking back in 2023, I feel like a lot of us, including myself, consider 2023 one of the best years in gaming. I mean, granted, I only got back into gaming as a serious hobby back in 2020, but 2023 has been an amazing year for us gamers. However, 2024 is also looking just as good, if maybe even better than 2023. So today I want to share with you 8 JRPGs that I'm looking forward to possibly playing or excited to see how they play out next year in 2024. So without further ado, let's get on to our list. First off, we have Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Ichiban Kasuga and Kazuma Kiryu play the twin protagonists in the video game Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Despite the format, Kasuga is a primary character throughout, and Kiryu is shown as a supporting role in Kasuga's narrative. Ichiban Kasuga is currently employed in Tokyo as a regular salaryman, having moved behind his criminal background. But one day, information on his criminal history appears on a well-liked VTuber screen, which results in Kasuga's determination. When word reaches Kasuga via his former Yakuza colleagues that his real mother Akane has surfaced in Hawaii, he is about to revert to old behaviors due to his lack of direction and money. Traveling to Honolulu by plane, Kasuga meets his mother, who has been absent for a long time. Ichiban, however, wakes up entirely naked on a public beach after being robbed of all of his belongings shortly after arriving in Honolulu. Lacking any money, a phone, or local friends to assist him, Kasuga is once more forced to start over from the bottom. He must figure out how to make ends meet and survive while pursuing Akane, hoping to locate her before any of the Honolulu-based criminal syndicate discover her. The renowned Kazuma Kiryu, who's in Honolulu for personal reasons, is assisting him in his endeavors. Now, Like the Dragon series is an interesting one because I have always heard really great things about this franchise, and I know a lot of my friends have played it and said really great things about it. Recently, I actually just watched a whole entire Let's Play, or I guess walkthrough, of Judgment, which is a spin-off to the Like a Dragon series, and absolutely loved it. Loved it so much so that I would definitely want to pick up a copy of the sequel and the first of that spin-off. And it makes me want to go back and see what the whole franchise is about. Since that spin-off was great, I would love to experience what it's all about on the mainline franchise. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth when that drops January 24th of 2024. Now we're going on to a game that's more on the fantasy-like with Grandblue Fantasy Relink. Cygames is the developer of the action RPG Grandblue Fantasy Relink, situated in the well-liked Grandblue Fantasy realm, which is home to the well-liked mobile game Grandblue Fantasy. The game includes a deep story, a cast of varied characters, and a magical environment that blended traditional and modern aspects. Grandblue Fantasy Relink is a widely anticipated game because of its cooperative multiplayer mode, which lets players join groups to explore dungeons, take on tough opponents, and work through the story of the game together. Players could select from a variety of characters, each with special skills, fighting styles, and participate in an intense battle with strong opponents in a fast-paced game. Now, I remember hearing about this game back in 2020, and I know that this game has been in development since I believe 2018, or is it 16? I just know that this game has been in development for a long time, and a lot of people have been really, really looking forward to this game. Originally supposed to come out, I think, last year, and then it got pushed to this year, and then it got pushed to next year on February 1st of this year, of 2024. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. I've been really hyped up about it. And of course, it's coming out in February, which is already looking to be one of the best months for JRPGs and also hell for our wallets because the amount of games that are coming out that month is actually ridiculous. I'm really looking forward to it, and I will definitely hopefully get that game day one. Now, speaking of February and how stacked that month is going to be, we are going to be talking about Persona 3 Reload. Persona 3 Reload is a remake of the highly beloved 2008 JRPG. The game centers on a high school student who enlists in the SEAS program to fight shadows. The Dark Hour, a secret hour that occurs between one day and the next, is when these shadows appear. In order to battle the shadows, the main character and their allies learn they may call upon strong entities called personas, which are representations of their inner selves. In addition to social simulation components, the game's dungeon crawling actions requires players to balance their everyday obligations, friendships, and studies while fending off supernatural perils. Now, Persona 3 Reload is a remake and remaster of the Persona 3 entry back in 2008, and I absolutely cannot wait to get into this. Now, again, I say this all the time, and it's pretty common for me. I watch a lot of walkthroughs and let's plays of games, so I'm very much familiar with the story of Persona 3 FES. I have not played the Persona 3 Portable, which is on modern day consoles, but now with the announcement and the release of Persona 3 Reload, I think this would be, I'm not sure if it would be the definitive way to play this game, but definitely a cool modern way to play this game, and I'm really looking forward to playing this on February 2nd. Again, right after Grandblue Fantasy, so that's going to be difficult to fit in because Persona games are notoriously long and a time commitment for sure, so I'm really curious as to how I'm going to put that into my schedule of February. And again, speaking of how crazy February is a month, at the end of the month, on a leap day no less, we're getting the release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth takes place right after the events of the remake. Players take control of the mercenary Cloud Strife and a group of characters, mostly members of the eco-terrorist group Avalanche, who team up to travel across the planet in order to stop the megacorporation Shinra from using its lifestream, the planet's life essence, as a source of energy, and to defeat Sephiroth, their former elite soldier who wants to unite with the planet in order to gain greater power. Now, this is probably one of the most highly anticipated games to come out in 2024, period. The amount of hype that is going into this game is tremendous. I know everyone is talking about this game, and I know Final Fantasy VII in itself, the game that came out back in 1997, is a well-beloved Final Fantasy entry and just a well-loved JRPG as a whole. My experience with that game is, again, shocker, I watched a Let's Play of it back in 2020 and absolutely loved it. So I'm very much familiar with at least the remake. However, I have not played the mainline game. And I'm currently on pause with my marathon of the Final Fantasy franchise going backwards. I don't know how I'm going to go about it because part of me wants to continue my marathon and continue going backwards and work my way down to FF7. However, I really do want to play FF7 Remake because I do have that copy, and I definitely want to play in Rebirth so I can be part of the discourse as well. So, again, decisions, but I have till February 29th when that game comes out. Now, going back to a fantastical world, I'm super excited for the release of Unicorn Overload next year. The mythical continent of Rebirth serves as the setting of the tactical RPG Unicorn Overload. The story follows the banished Prince Alan as he musters an army from each of Rebirth's 5 kingdoms in order to retake his throne from the renegade General Valmore. In the course of exploration, the player leads Alan through an overworld to towns where he engages in optional or plot fights and employs services like blacksmiths and merchants to equip his army. Enemy sprites roam the overworld in places that are not under Alan or his friends' control, with his 2-dimensional art utilized to display every character, locations, and sprite. Players are allowed to explore the overworld at will, which lets them take on various events in different order. What's really great about Unicorn Overload is it comes from the developers of Vanillaware, which are probably one of the most beautiful art styles I've ever seen in JRPGs. This past year, I finished playing 13 Sentinel Aegis Rim and absolutely loved the art style, and I loved the story going into it. And I do have other games such as Dragon's Crown and Odin's Sphere. They have also worked on games like Muramasa as well. They have a pretty stacked history of great games. that a lot of people have loved, and I definitely want to go back and play those, but I'm most definitely excited for this. I remember when it was announced back, I think on the September Nintendo Direct, I absolutely knew, as soon as I saw just the first glimpses of it, I knew that was Vanillaware. So definitely Vanillaware is definitely a developer that I'm always highly anticipated and always excited to see what their new projects are. So I'm super excited to play that game once that comes out March 22nd. Continuing with this fantasy theme, the next game that I want to mention is Dragon's Dogma II. Dragon's Dogma II is set in an alternate universe from the first game in the realms of Vermund and Batal. The story revolves around an Arisen who serves as both the player and the primary protagonist and their pawns, all over whom are interwoven with global politics and events. Now, what's really cool about Dragon's Dogma is that I've never experienced the first one, and I never really heard about it until I saw it at one of the Capcom showcases this past year. And recently they just had a showcase to talk more about details of the game, more about the plot, as well as the release date of this game. And honestly, I'm really thrilled about it. And I think you don't have to necessarily play the first one to play this one. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but the art style and the direction of it looks really amazing, and I really want to get more back into my fantasy era with games, so I'm really looking forward to Dragon's Dogma 2 when that comes out March 22nd. So the next game that I want to mention is actually a remaster of a 3DS title, and that is Legends of Legacy. The Legends of Legacy was created by Fuyuru and released by Alice in 2015, saw its release on the Nintendo 3DS in Japan later that year, and was brought to North America and Europe. This game takes place on this beautiful island of Avalon, where intrepid travelers from various backgrounds band together to discover the secrets of the place. 7 distinct characters are available for the players to select from, each with special skills and backstories. The main goal of the plot is to solve the island's riddles, including the whereabouts of the strong relics called elemental stones. Now, when I got my 3DS, I think it was last year, or not even last year, I think in 2021, this was definitely a game that I wanted to get into, but the 3DS version and even the Switch version are super expensive, so having this remaster is definitely going to help my wallet a lot. And again, another cool title to experience in Atlas, of course. A title as well is going to be an awesome one to hopefully experience soon when that comes out March of 2022. And the last game that we want to mention on this list was a title that has been announced for a while and was a Kickstarter, I believe, back in 2020 maybe? I could be wrong. I'll definitely put the right date here. But that is Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes is special because it allows you to fight alongside a 6-person squad made up of any of the 100 party members you might encounter while exploring Iran. In order to gather resources, boost output, and construct new facilities for your campaign, oversee your town, and enlist friends. Now, what's really great about Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes is I believe that it has developers that have worked on titles such as the Suikoden series, and when this was announced, again, maybe around 2019, 2020, this was also announced alongside with Eiyuden Chronicles Rising, which I have not played yet. I was more interested in 100 Heroes just because it's more of a straight up RPG. That one's more of a side-scrolling platformer kind of RPG. But again, nonetheless, the art style looks amazing, and now that we got more of the story and a release date, I'm really, really excited to play this game when this comes out April 23rd. And with that, that is all of the games that I'm looking forward to in 2024, at least for JRPGs wise. Again, there are so many more JRPGs coming out next year that I didn't even listen to this video. So comment down below, what are some JRPGs that you're looking forward to playing next year? Also, do not forget to like and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one. Bye!